So whenever you're ready, you can make your way on down and we can start on our back. So you can feel free to stretch, wiggle, move around in any way that would feel good to you. You're just starting to check in with your body this morning, see how you're feeling, getting a general sense of how things are. Awesome. And then we'll do a little bit of our core breathing. So let's start with the palms up, okay? If the palms face the ceiling, right, you extend through your wrists, they're facing the ceiling, and then you turn your fingers in towards each other. So you've extended the wrist, and then you've internally rotated at the shoulder, okay? From there, you're gonna push up with your palms, meaning your shoulder blades are going to come up off the ground. And we're going to start with a pelvis that's tucked under. So you're going to tilt your belt buckle towards your face without squeezing your butt. Okay. So you tuck under without squeezing the butt. That might give you some hamstring. Okay. But I don't want you to squeeze your butt. And we're going to do about 5 to 6 breaths here, just inhaling slowly through your nose. Feel for some expansion in the back of the rib cage. Exhale all your air out, let all your core muscles give your spine a bit of a hug. Work towards holding your tension in your belly as you breathe in. And then exhale, generate a little bit more tension as you get all your air out, staying tucked under, maintaining this kind of rounded spinal position. So tucked pelvis and shoulder blades are lifted. We'll do a couple of more breaths. It should feel decently challenging, even though it's in quote, just breathing, because we're putting the body in a little bit of a different position. And you could also be dragging your heels back. So we're building some good core pressure here. You might get a stretch in the back of the shoulders. Beautiful. And then relax the shoulder blades down. We'll turn the palms in to face each other. Maybe just flex and extend the wrists a few times, or even circle the wrists a couple of times. Now, I want you to imagine you had something behind your back and the back of your rib cage, like your bra strap mid-back area. Okay, keep your rib cage pushing down there and reach your arms back up only about maybe halfway, only as far back as they'll go without you lifting your ribs. And then tilt your belt buckle away from you slightly. So you have a little tunnel behind your low back. From here, you can still gently tug the heels towards the butt. Now you'll breathe in. Your chest is much more open now. Exhale, hug all your core muscles in towards your spine. And as you breathe out, make sure you don't tuck the pelvis. So that's going to be the temptation. Your body might, some bodies might try to tuck under to get that exhale. Try to keep your belt buckle tilted away from you. So you're contracting the core muscles in more of a lengthened position now. Okay. If your arms go too far back, though, you'll kind of lose your core tension. So just make sure you're not going so far that you lose your mid back. Inhaling, filling up, and then exhaling. All those muscles below the belly button. Give the spine a hug. You try to keep them slightly contracted as you breathe in again. Neck, your face, your jaw, everything stays relaxed there. Beautiful. And then we'll bring elbows all the way down to the ground. Okay. And then I want you to just do a couple of tuck, untucks, pelvic tilts here. Find a place where you feel like it's your happy medium. So you're not smashing your low back into the ground, but you don't have a big arch either. Right. Now, on our exhale, we're going to hover. Okay, just to hover your right elbow and your left foot 1 inch off the ground. Now, when you do that, try not to let your pelvis shift anywhere. Then you'll inhale, bring them down. Exhale, hover left elbow, right foot 1 inch off the ground. So even though it doesn't look like much and it's a subtle movement, you should actually feel a decent amount of core work to make this happen. The heel that's on the ground can be dragging towards the butt a little bit. You're not shifting the pelvis side to side or front to back, and you're keeping your good core tension. And it's just like 1 inch off the ground. Okay, so opposite arm, opposite foot, just lifting an inch off the ground. Try to imagine like your core is making this whole thing happen. Like your obliques, your rectus, your TVA, like all your core muscles are coming together to make this lift happen. You're not just like thinking about your arm and your leg lifting, you're thinking about like your core doing the job. Yeah, that can help sometimes. Awesome. Okay. And then let's just open the arms nice and wide. Spread the hands out. Imagine someone was playing tug of war with your hands pulling you apart in opposite directions, and we'll gently windshield wiper those knees side to side. So big stretch through the inner arms, and then gently windshield wipering the knees. Okay. So then we're going to do one that's going to get into the hamstring quite a bit. We did it a couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago. You're gonna need both yoga blocks for it. So we'll do the right leg first, and you're gonna take the yoga block. Okay, it's not the lowest height, it's not the highest, it's the medium height. Okay, the medium height, and it's actually going behind your thigh. Okay, and you're gonna be on your back. So if we put it behind the right thigh, I want you to make sure, like, if it's too low, meaning towards your knee, it's not going to stay put. So you want to make sure it's kind of just in the middle of your thigh. You can adjust it though. As we do this movement, you'll be like, oh, okay, I think my block needs to go a little lower, a little higher, and it will make more sense. Okay. Then, remember which arm we're going to. Yeah, we're going to stick the block in the left palm. I had to think about that for a sec. So the block's going to go in the left palm. You can just keep that elbow down for a second until we get this hamstring situation figured out. So your left knee comes into your chest. And so my right heel, this is pretty important. The right heel is on the ground and your toes are your ankles dorsiflex. So your toes are pulling towards your knee. Okay. Now, what you want to do is push your right foot down and push the right heel down and drag it back and tuck your pelvis under as much as you can. Okay. So tuck the pelvis as much as you can. And you should start to feel your right hamstring from your tucked pelvis and your heel drag. So the block is there because you're just pushing your leg into it. Okay. You're tucking the pelvis and then you reach the left arm up. Okay. Good. And then all we're going to do here is exhale, reach your left arm back. Inhale, bring the left arm forward. Keep driving that yoga block into the ground with the back of your right leg. Keep tucking the pelvis. If you don't tuck, it won't work. So you really got to tilt the belt buckle towards your face, and then you really got to drag the right heel back. If you want to do more, you can extend your left leg long as your left arm goes back, and then bring everything back to center. Okay. But we're not even lifting the hips. Like, you don't need to. Thinking about what it would feel like to have to lift the hips might give you more hamstring now. So that might be an option. Then you're just reaching, block back, leg long, staying as tucked as you can, connected to the core. Good. And it should just be lighting up that back of that right leg. Great job. Stay connected to the core. Let's do like one more. Awesome. And then you can stick the block on the right palm, and we'll just go right to the other side now. So you can shift the block over to the left, and you want to make sure, like, if it's too low, you won't really be able to press into it very well. So it's right behind that left hamstring. The right knee's into the chest. So before we even start working on the arm, push your left heel down and drag it back and tuck your pelvis. So here it's like you do want to try to get your low back to like flatten into the mat. It might not go all the way, but that's what you would be working towards. Then once you have all that in place, you reach the right arm up, and we're just reaching the arm backwards and forwards. This is a great one to do actually with a dumbbell, and like do a pullover with a hamstring tensioning exercise, but the block works good too. It gets the wrist warmed up in the shoulder. So keep all those tensions. You got to kind of keep thinking about it. And then if you want, you can extend the right leg long and then bring everything back in. So ipsilateral arm and leg reaching. Keep pushing your left heel into the ground, tucking pelvis. If it helps to imagine what it would be like to have to lift your hips off the ground here, that might help you kick some things on. but don't untuck. So you got to try to keep kind of pressing that low back into the ground as best as you can. Good job. Let's do two more. And take a rest. Great job. Okay. And then if you want to kind of rub behind the backs of the legs or kick the heels on the hamstring attachments, that works. Beautiful. And then we'll get into a quick upper body rotational exercise, core exercise, and then we'll change shape. So stick your block between your inner thighs for this. You could do the narrow way or the middle wide way, honestly, whatever feels better to you in this moment. And then we'll open the arms to a T. You're going to keep your feet glued and your hips glued, and you're going to lift the left arm up, cross it over your body, and you're going to think of reaching your left fingertips towards your right fingertips. Your head and your left shoulder are going to lift, and you're going to keep rotating, 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 and reaching as far as you can while you're trying to pull your left hip back towards the ground. So my rib cage is rotating to the right, my pelvis is staying turned to the left, and then I'm going to unwind, open up, pick my right arm up. Okay, I follow my right hand over to the left, and then when I need to, I pick my head up and my shoulder, and I keep reaching, and I'm rotating rib cage left, counter rotating pelvis into the ground, so you don't let that right hip lift up. And then you can just move kind of at your own pace. I think it's a little more interesting to go slower and really pause as you reach. Try to get in touch with some of these oblique muscles. That's what's help facilitating this rotational movement side to side. You might start to feel like you get a little further. We'll do like one more on each side. Awesome. Okay, and then we'll take the block out. Let's do block on top of left palm again. And then right arm can come to the floor, and we'll bring the knees up over the hips. Okay, so take a moment here, connect to your breath. Okay, if your knees are too close to you, you're going to miss out on some good core work. But if you let them go really far and you don't have the connection yet, then the low back might not love it. So you just want to play with a good knee position where you can feel your core activated, but not really the low back, right? Work towards exhaling all your core muscles in towards your spine without needing to smash your low back into the ground. Okay, that's something to work on. So what we'll do, left arm back, right leg forward a bit. So we're not extending the knee, okay? We're not even taking the arm maybe all the way back, but you're letting the core be in charge here. And then you're going to pull everything to center. Now, turn your left fingertips to the left. You're going to open your left arm to the left as your right knee opens to the side. So a little bit of abduction, and then come back to center. So we're going back to front, okay, exhaling, inhaling to center, and then we're going side to side, turning that palm, keeping this left knee parked. So don't let the left knee move closer to you as you move. You want to keep it exactly where it is. Good. Now check in with the face, the jaw. You want to keep those parts relaxed. Beautiful. And we'll do one more. Awesome. So then let's bring the feet down for a moment. Let the belly relax and be soft. So let go of all that tension. Maybe you just gently rock the knees side to side a couple of times. And then we're going to stick the yoga block on the right palm, bring the knees over the hips. And then once you're there, you can reach the block up, but take a moment, find your good core tension, find your pelvis position. You might need to untuck a little bit to find where it really kicks on nicely. Okay, think of Exhaling everything, hugging inward, and we'll reach arm back, leg long. Inhale, coming to center. And then arm out to the side, leg out to the side, keeping this right knee exactly where it is as you move, okay? So this is one of those movements where it's like, it's kind of not easy to cheat, but if you're not really focusing on it, you might not get that much out of it. But if you're really focused on your position and staying aware, you can get a really like good core kind of burn connection out of it. So just something to keep in mind. Going really slow, not really slow, but not rushing it. Okay, let's do 2 more. Awesome job. Okay, and then we'll move the block to the side, gently windshield wiper knees. Okay, anything else you got to do before you are ready to transition? And then we're going to head into some side planking. So I'll come on my left, you can come onto your right. Grab a yoga block, actually. We're going to put the block the narrow way in between the inner thighs here. Yeah, and we're gonna practice what we're about to do a little bit before we get the hips up. So you're on your right forearm. You can be on the flat palm or the pinky side edge, either one. If you're on the flat palm, I would take a second and like kind of push everything into the ground, get the palm flat, as flat as you can, then push away from the ground. So you start right off the bat, lifting your right side up, okay? I have the block like pretty close to my knees. It's not like very close to my pelvis. It's closer to the knees, okay? Now, in this position, I want you to go ahead and shift your left knee a little ahead of your right knee. So you shift it forward and then just let it pull back. So you have the block there. You're not crushing the block. You can think of it more as like a placeholder, okay? My feet are touching, okay? But my top, so your top left knee shifts forward. You'll see it go a tiny bit in front of the right knee and then it shifts back, okay? It's a subtle movement. The subtler, the better, okay? Your knees are way down here. It's not going to work out very well. So I would have your knees as high as you possibly can in line with your hips. Like in line with your hips would be great, but that might not work out. You might be too like crouched or crowded. So you might need your knees a little lower, but don't have them way far away from you, okay? When you're ready, we're going to go ahead and drive through the outer edge of this right leg and lift your hips up. From here, you're going to shift this top knee forward and then pull it back. You can just wrap your left arm around your right side body. Keep driving through the outer edge of that right knee. You're shifting the left knee forward, pulling it back. So it's this hip that's shifting forward, pulling back. Keep driving through the knee. Then we're going to shift the top knee forward. Yep, and drive it into the yoga block. Take 2 breaths where it's forward and you're just pushing it into the block. See what you feel. And then you're going to pull the top knee back, drive it into the yoga block. 2 breaths. So your left knee slightly behind the right. 2 breaths. And then come down. Nice job. Okay, so then go ahead, maybe swirl it out, or you might want to move your head and your neck around. Okay, and you could do all that with your hips down. So just something to keep in mind, if your shoulder or something didn't love that, you can always do it with your hips down. We'll play with it on the left side. So block is the narrow way between the inner thigh, but very close to the knee. Knees are as in line with the hips as you can get them. On the forearm, we're gonna lift your side body up, and then we'll just review it again with the hips down just so you can kind of get it. It's so subtle. This top knee shifts forward a little, then it shifts back, okay? If you put your hand on your hip, that might be helpful, or you could even put it on the thigh. It's shifting this way, and then it's pulling back, okay? If the block was a foam roller, that would be even better, but I don't know if everyone has a foam roller at home, so I use the block. But you can think of it rolling forward, rolling back. Your feet stay touching, your side body stays lifting. When you're ready, you're going to drive through the outer edge of this left thigh, left knee really, and lift those hips. And then you shift forward and pull back. Shift the top knee forward, pull it back. It's so subtle. It's not a big movement. Try to stay lifted away from the ground. Stay connected to the outer edge of that left leg. Okay, so now you shift it forward. So your right knee is a tiny bit in front of your left, and you're going to drive your leg down into the block. Take 2 breaths, 2 or 3, we'll say, and then pull it back. So now that top knee is a little behind the bottom knee. Drive it into the block. That might give you some good inner thigh when you pull it back, potentially. Drive it into the block. Couple of breaths. And then slowly come up and out of it. And we can swirl it out. Great job. Okay, so then let's get set up into our tabletop. You can send your yoga blocks up to the top of the mat. Get some good knee padding if you need it. We're going to go palms under shoulders, knees under hips, collarbones forward, sits bones a little lifted, and then just start to rock the hips back and forth. As you come forward, let your shoulders load over your wrists and even a little further, trying to load the shoulders towards the fingertips. That'll just start to warm up the wrists and the hands a little. And then start to play with shifting the hips back to the left and back to the right. So just seeing what that feels like, changing the angle a little bit here. Awesome. So when you're ready, we're gonna, let's climb the left hand up on our yoga block. Okay, left hand on the yoga block. Your right hand can still be on the ground for a second, but then when you're ready, we're gonna go left leg back, ball of the foot on the ground. You're gonna pulse that left heel back and forth. You're gonna get a little calf stretch in the back of that left leg, okay? A little bit there. Now, you're gonna push through your yoga block with the left hand, push through. Keep your sternum a little bit lifted, but it's like ribs are pulling back and sternum's lifted. It's like a tug of war there. You're gonna reach your right arm forward like you're gonna shake someone's hand and lift your left leg up. So we're gonna hold this bird dog for about 3 to 5 breaths. We'll see. You're gonna hug all your core muscles up towards your spine. Now you can kind of play with, if you wanted to get your left leg a little higher, but tuck your pelvis as you try to get it up higher so it doesn't go anywhere. That might help you connect to some glute or hamstring potentially. Then what we're gonna do is draw elbow to knee, round the spine, cross connect. So really round, breathe in, and then exhale, arm forward, leg long. Inhale, elbow to knee, and then change your angle. So reach your arm at a diagonal, your leg back at a diagonal. Okay, and then elbow to knee, and now see if you can go out to the side. Arm out to the side, leg out to the side. And then elbow to knee, and we'll go back to front again, like 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock kind of. And then elbow to knee, now you go at the angle. So it'd be like, I don't know, like 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock or something. Good. And then elbow to knee, and then side to side. So like 3 and 9. Good. And then bring all that down. Okay, we're going to come into a tall kneeling. We'll roll on up. Maybe you want to shake out that left wrist a bit potentially, and then we'll swirl it out here. Get the rib cage moving nice and dynamically, relaxing through the arms a bit. Nice job. Okay, so from here, we'll do a couple of lean backs. We'll go toes untucked as long as that feels okay. So tops of feet down. Think of rib cage lifting up off pelvis, so creating space in your abdominal cavity, but then pulling ribs back at the same time. So you're not flaring the ribs out, okay? From there, you're gonna lean back and reach your arms forward in line with your shoulders. Now, once you've leaned back, brace your abs a little and reach your arms all the way back next to your ears, okay? Then arms come in line with shoulders, and then pull yourself up, elbows pull back. Okay, so you lean back, arms are in line with shoulders, you're reaching. Once you're back there, okay, which shouldn't be very far back because that won't be fun, then you're gonna reach your arms back all the way alongside the ears. Then arms come in line with shoulders, then pull up. So it's gonna like burn your quads, right? For sure, especially when the arms go up. So they go forward, and then arms go up and back alongside those ears. They come forward, pull yourself up. Beautiful. Let's do one more. Lean back, arms up and back, arms in line with shoulders, pull up. Love it. Okay, arms can come back down to your mat. We're gonna stick the yoga block under the right hand. You have your left hand on your mat. We're gonna send the right leg back. Start on the ball of the foot and just do your little pulses here. Pulsing that heel back and forth, looking for a little calf stretch. Okay, from there, you're gonna push away from that yoga block with the right hand, collarbone forward, but rib cage pulling up towards the ceiling. You're gonna reach your left arm forward, lift your right leg up. We're gonna start holding here for a few breaths. Now, you want to imagine that you're trying to get this right leg up, but you can't, because the more you tuck under, the harder it's gonna be to get the leg up. So you wanna play with that a little bit as you keep reaching your left arm forward. Don't sink into your right shoulder, keep pushing away from the block. Okay, from there, we're gonna cross connect elbow to knee and round your spine. Think angry cat, breathe in. Exhale, arm forward, leg long. Then inhale, cross connect, elbow to knee. We're gonna go at an angle, send the leg back at an angle, the arm forward at an angle. It's like 11 and 5 now, okay? And then come together and then out to the sides, leg out to the side, arm out to the side, and back to center. Good, so we'll do one more at each angle, back to front, push away from that yoga block, stay connected to your core. Cross connect, arm forward at an angle, leg back at an angle, cross connect, and then out to the sides, and then down. Great job. Lose the yoga block, spread through the palms, take an inhale, exhale, lift your knees an inch off the mat. Okay, good. From here, we're gonna try to shift the left hip down and tap your left knee to the mat. Exhale, lift it up. Right knee down. Exhale, lift it up. If that's too much, you can do your knees down and play with shifting a knee up and then the other knee up like this. If you're okay, then you're gonna do it with the knees hovering. Keep them as close to the ground as possible so you don't have very far to go. After you do a couple, because that's probably all you need because it's really hard, send your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. A little bit of a reprieve there, okay? And then from the downward dog, feel free to walk it out, pedal the feet, really push through your hands, shake the head, yes. Relax the face, the neck, the head, the jaw, all that. And then we're gonna go walking our feet towards our hands at the top of the mat. We're gonna take our strap or band with us. We'll use it. And we're gonna roll up, but take your time rolling up. And I would do your little rotation here on the way up. So try to get your body weight to shift into the left foot and then into the right, and really feel free to load into one leg and then the other. Okay, you can kind of linger or hang out anywhere that feels like a really nice stretch for you. And then once that feels complete, we'll root down through both feet, okay, pretty evenly, and then continue segmentally rolling all the way up. Great. So maybe you have to go get your strap or band, maybe you manage to bring it with you. We are gonna fold it in half if yours is long like mine. And we're gonna do an overhand grip for now and start pulling it apart. So with your feet, I want you to spread your toes out, okay? Try to get think of your ankle bone, okay? Staying in line with this part of your side of your knee, hip, rib cage, shoulder, all the way up the chain. Even just thinking about it could be helpful, okay? Even if you're unsure, that's exactly what you look like. And then you're gonna reach your arms up and pull that band apart. We're going to go ahead and side bend to the right, okay? So big reach to the right. Keep imagining your rib cage was getting further from your pelvis though. So you're not compressing on top of your pelvis. You're staying long and you're pulling this band apart. Shift your hips to the left as you keep reaching to the right. Pull yourself up to center. Side bend over to the left. Okay, keep shifting your hips to the right, but again, try not to collapse into your pelvis. Try to keep lifting your rib cage up off your pelvis as you side bend. And then let's do 2 more to each side. So we'll get into it a little bit today. Okay, so you're side bending right, shifting hips left, find that big stretch. Keep pulling the band apart. Go over to the left. Try not to collapse into the side that you're bending towards. So even though I'm bending to the right and my side is getting shorter, I'm not just like, yeah, the word is collapse. I'm not like collapsing into my side body. I'm staying lifted. Good. We'll do one last one to the left. And then we'll come to center. So from here, you're going to bend your elbows and bring your strap or your band behind your head. You can have your elbows nice and wide. I want you to try to keep your shoulders nice and wide, actually. And then bend your knees and tuck your pelvis. So belt buckle towards face. Start to shift your hips forward. Get your hips as far forward as they'll go as you turn your belly button and your sternum up towards the ceiling. Keep pulling the band apart here. Take a few breaths. Pull, 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 pull. So super active. And then we'll shift the hips back. Reach your band up and all the way down. Nice job. Okay, so we're going to go into a little bit of a squat. You can think of it as kind of like a chair pose. Feet can stay about hips width, okay? But we're going to think butt is going down and it's a little hingy. So everyone's exact dimensions are going to be a little different depending on the length of your legs and your pelvis and stuff. But knees are bending forward and butt's back, but we're not in this position. We're not in the full hinge. The butt's down a little. Okay, so we're in the chair pose. Okay, from here, I want you to shift your body weight into the balls of your feet and lift your heels a millimeter off the ground. As you do that, go ahead and reach your arms up. Yup, as high as they'll go, really. Pull the band apart. And then we're going to sink the heels down, sink the butt, and bring the arms down in front of the knees. Keep pulling your band apart. So it's slow. You're going to rock forward, lift the heels a millimeter off the ground, stay connected to your core, reach your arms up, pull your band apart, and then sink your heels and sink your butt lower, okay? If the balance is ruining it for you, you can come forward, lift the arms, and shift your body weight without lifting the heels. If you're good with the heel lift, you're lifting them just a tiny bit, and then you come really slow, sink the heels, sink the butt. Okay, now we're gonna do it faster. So come forward. This part will still be slow, but then you can sink it down quick. Yep, so this part's still kind of slow. You come forward and up, heels up, and then sink it down. Okay, 2 more. Forward and up, heels up, sink it down. 1 more. Pull that band apart, sink it down, push through your feet, stand all the way up. Maybe swirl it out for a sec. Okay, so now we're going to do a unilateral version of that. So we'll do right foot forward first. So right foot in front. You're gonna have your left foot in back with your left heel up. So the left heel is gonna stay up the whole time for this, okay? But you're gonna start back down in a little bit of that same angle, basically. Torso's a little forward, but butt is down. Okay, your right heel is on the ground right now. Your left heel is up. So we were here before, now we're here. So we just stepped the leg back, okay? Now, same thing, you're gonna come forward, lift your right heel, or just shift your body weight forward, reach your arms all the way up, pull the band apart, and then you're gonna sink the heel, sink the butt. Stay as loaded into your right leg as possible, okay? It's gonna be definitely gonna get into that quad, but I'd love for you to also feel your glute if possible. Stay long through your trunk, so you're not shortening your body here, staying long. Coming forward and sinking down, okay? We'll do like 3 of them a little faster on the way down, and then we'll rest. So sink it down. Forward, kind of slow, and sink it down. And my heel is coming literally like a credit card distance off the ground, like hardly at all. Good, and then push all the way up. Holy moly, good. Shake out the right leg. Okay, so now you got left foot in front, right foot slightly in back, right heel up. Okay, or you could just go into your regular chair pose and step your right foot back. However you want to come into it really is fine. Okay, from here, we're shifting forward into the ball of the foot. Heel lifts or it doesn't. Arms come up, pull band apart. And then this part's kind of slow for now. We're sinking down. Okay, heel up, arms up, pull apart, arms down, sink the butt. Sink the heel and sink the butt. Good job. Okay, see if you can do 3 more. As you come down, you can go a little faster. You're kind of like, yeah, you're just putting a little more emphasis on the way down, sinking into it. Good. And then push through that left leg to stand you up and shake it out. Beautiful job. Really good. All right. And we'll look up at the ceiling, move the chin towards the chest. We're going to round the spine. We're going to roll it on down, plant the palms, step the legs back to a plank, and then drop the knees and find your child's pose. So let's take whatever variation that sounds good to you right now, whatever is the most soothing. You could gently rock side to side, or you could find total stillness. Let the heart rate come down, let the breath settle. Invite the belly to be soft. Think about just breathing into the back of your body. Front body's closed off, so it's kind of a nice opportunity to try to get some breath into the back. Okay, we're gonna reach arms forward and climb up on our blocks. We're gonna tuck the toes and send the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're gonna walk the feet next to each other and send the left leg up and back. Now, start to circle your left ankle about 4 times in each direction. Nothing else is moving, just this left ankle in your 3-legged dog. It's gonna throw the ankle circle in here today. Good. Then we're just gonna step that left foot forward in between our hands. Okay, move your blocks to the highest height. Move the blocks to the highest height. Step your back foot in a little bit, and then we're going to lift the trunk all the way up, but you want to stay loaded over your left thigh. So I'm leaning over my left leg. Okay, my back foot is not super far back. My back heel is up. I'm on train tracks, not a tightrope. Okay, from here, we're gonna press the palms together like this. Yep, and just point them down. Okay, we're gonna work on our pelvis. Actually, we'll do it in steps. So at first, we're just gonna move the arms side to side and don't move the pelvis. So your 2 hip bones, think of them as headlights. They're staying facing forward, and you're just gonna rotate your rib cage to the left and to the right, really subtly as you're staying loaded in your left leg. I would try to distribute the weight in your left foot between the heel and the ball of the foot, so you're not too far in either one. And then like your sternum is just moving with your hands left and right, no hip motion. Good, no hip motion. One more like that. Okay, now we're gonna add the hip motion. So your right hip is gonna drop in towards your left, your jean zipper turns in, and then you're gonna turn it out like that. Good. So keep your left knee parked over your left heel. Don't let it turn in as you turn this hip out. Okay, good. Okay, so now you're gonna keep doing the same exact motion, but you're gonna see if you can make it a little bit more swingy, a little bit more dynamic. You do you, meaning like it might just mean like you go a little faster, okay? Or you kind of, I don't know, this is not how you stand when you golf, but it kind of reminds me of like you're here and then you're like swinging the golf club that way. So you can kind of think of it like that. Just make it a little faster, a little different than before. A little more dynamic. You're kind of like swinging into that hip and then swinging out of it. Should burn the left glute. Nice job. And then we'll relax there. Drop the back heel down. Windmill the arms open. We'll straighten the left knee for a moment and then rebend it so you're in your warrior 2 here. Okay. Bend into that front knee generously. We're going to side bend and reach over this left leg. So it's like you're shifting your ribs to the left. Drop your left arm inside your left inner thigh. Reach this right arm up. Reach up. Good. Now reach your right arm alongside your right ear and bend your left knee forward more. Okay, so this should definitely burn. And then bring your left arm to meet your left ear. Good. Now keep your left knee where it is. Reverse it and side bend to the right. Side bend. Reach, 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 reach. Open the arms back to a T. Then push through your left foot to straighten the leg. Luckily, we're only doing one of those. Then rebend the knee, and then you can windmill the arms all the way down to the blocks. Pivot onto the ball of your right foot. Okay, from here, today, you're gonna just step your right foot in. So it's one step behind your left. One step behind your left. And then you're gonna move your blocks out of the way. Start to bend both knees and go ahead and round your spine generously. Low back, mid back, upper back, round, round, round. And we're in a slumped position here. We're gonna play with our weight shift. It's all about the left foot. I shift forward into the ball of my left foot, then I shift back into the heel. My back leg is just a kickstand. If I want more sensation, I drop down lower. If I want less, I come up higher. Arms are so relaxed. Whole spine is relaxed. Good. Then, okay, go forward into right in the middle of your left foot. Just bend your knees a little lower than you currently are, and then push through your feet to now stand yourself all the way up. Okay. Then we're going to do a same motion, but slight variation of that exact movement. So soften your knees again, both knees. Okay. Bend your left knee so it's over the middle of your left foot, and your back knee is bent as well. And then keep a flat back. So you're going to keep your sits bones lifted and your collarbones forward. So we got tail lights, back pockets, shining backwards, headlights forward. Arms can just be under shoulders. And now do the weight shift again. So you're in the ball of the left foot and in the heel. The goal is to keep the back of the pelvis open. So try not to tuck your pelvis. And then it's just the weight shift forward and back. Okay, should be lighting up this left leg. Lighting it up. Good. Great. And then we'll come into the middle of that left foot and stand all the way up. Awesome. Last little thing here. We'll make it nice and dynamic. We'll give you two options. So option one, okay, your foot setup is the same. Okay. Option one is going to be a swing back, and you're going to send your butt back and drop the knees down a little. A swing and just a stand with arms up by the ears. You can just keep going. So it would just look like this. Okay. We've done this many times. Option two today, you're going to swing and then drive your back knee to your chest. And then step back, swing, drive your back knee to your chest. So if you want to work on a little more of the balance component, you'll take your back leg up with you. Okay. Either way, you're loading over your left thigh as much as possible as you send your butt back, and you are dropping down into it. So it's a hingy lunge, I would say. Like your knees are bending, you're dropping down, you're driving up. You don't have to take the back knee with you, but you can. Great job. Whew. You can step the back foot back. We'll reach arms up, take them wide. We're going to swan dive forward, plant the palms down on your mat, step back to high plank, yep, and then drop knees down, untuck toes, send your hips back, and then we'll walk our hands to the right side of the mat. We'll stick the left palm on top of the right. So you're side bending to your right, opening up the left side body, breathing in to that left side. I would round through the upper back of it. Push your hands down into the ground here. And then when you feel complete, you'll walk your hands over to the left, and you can stick your right palm on top of the left, opening up the right side of the body. And then we'll walk forward, and we're going to climb our hands up on our yoga blocks again. Tuck the toes under. Send the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Great. walk the feet together, send the right leg up and back, and then find your ankle circles. So holding this position, okay, try not to move the hip or the knee, just get about 4 circles in each direction. They're pretty slow. They're not quick ankle circles here. Pretty slow. Great job. And then you can step your right foot forward in between your hands. Yoga blocks come to the highest height. Feet are on train tracks and your back foot might need to come in a little. And then we're going to lift the trunk up. Beautiful. From here, you're loading your torso over your right leg. Palms are glued together. We're not moving the hips at first. They stay square and you're just rotating, or you could think of it as reaching to the left and the right. So your fingertips reach right, your fingertips reach left, and you resist the urge to move the pelvis with you. So your sternum is like steering you. You're going right and left. Okay, so a lot of obliques actually here. Good. When you're ready, we're gonna add the hip in. So as I reach right, I turn my left hip in towards my right leg. As I reach out, I turn it away. Okay, my left leg does have like a tiny little soft bend in the knee. I think that makes it, yeah, doing it with a lockdown knee would be really weird. So I would bend the knee a little. And then I'm just rotating my pelvis around a fixed right femur. Don't let the right knee move with you. Keep it parked over your heel. When you're ready, you're just gonna make it a little quicker, a little more dynamic. It might have pauses in it, right? Like you might swing down and then swing up, but like pausing in between. You might just focus on, like you could actually focus on just the swing down and then open up slow, or you could focus on the swing opening and then come down slow. There's really no wrong way. I just want you to play with getting this to be a little more dynamic, like you're sinking into your tissues. Your tissues have to be a little more responsive. It's gonna light up your right glute. Beautiful job. Okay, and then from here, you're gonna drop your back heel down. We windmill the arms open. I would straighten that right knee for a second, give it a little reprieve, and then rebend. Okay, we're in our warrior two. We're gonna shift and lean over our right leg. Drop the right arm inside inner thigh. Left arm comes alongside left ear. Okay, then you drive your right knee forward. Keep it forward as you bring your right arm up to meet your left. A lot of work here, right? Keep your right knee where it is, and then side bend to the left. Keep shifting that right knee forward. Reach, 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 reach. Open up to your T, and then push through the right foot to straighten that knee. Great job. We'll rebend and we'll windmill the arms to our blocks. We'll use them as kind of a support here as we transition. So you're gonna shift into the ball of the left foot and bring your left foot nice and close, about 1 step behind your right. And then you're gonna bend both knees, start to round your spine, mid back, low back, upper back, the whole spine, and slump. So arms are relaxed and you'll start your weight shift into the ball of your right foot, into the heel. Ball of the foot, heel. Toes stay spread and try not to grip the toes when you come forward. Like I said, more sensation, you drop down lower. Less sensation, you come up a little. Good. Then I want you, wherever you are, go to the middle of your right foot with your body weight. Bend your knees just a little more than you currently have them. Push through your right foot to roll yourself all the way up to stand. Great job. So now we have the kind of flat back version. So bend your right knee over your midfoot, bend your left knee as well. Okay, arms are gonna stay under shoulders, but just start to send your butt back. So tailbone is slightly lifted with some core retraction. Collarbones are forward, and you're just shifting the body weight into the ball of the foot, into the heel. Okay, good. So that back foot is super light. It's just your kickstand. You're trying to stay very open in the back of the pelvis. Awesome job. Yeah, it doesn't take too many to really feel it. Go to the middle of the foot, stand all the way up. Okay, then we got our swings. So option, okay, your foot position is the same as it just was. Option to swing back and then just drive all the way up. Okay, option to take the back knee with you. See how your balance is on this other side. Okay, I think it is kind of nice to do a baby pause just to make sure you do have the balance. Baby pause at the top and then send it back if you took that option. Try to get your butt back and drop down. You're sinking into it, propelling yourself up and out of it, whichever option you took. Good. Beautiful. And we'll come down. We'll reach the arms up, take them wide, swan dive forward, send the butt back, plant your palms, step your left leg back to your plank, step your right leg back to your plank. Last little active thing here, we'll do some rainbow planks here. So you're gonna drop your hips down to one side, lift them up, rainbow over to the other. And it can feel nice to really let your hip sink, sink, sink. You'll get a big stretch through that side body and then lift them up and over. I wouldn't worry too much about like your form or anything. Go for like a stretch, let yourself turn on the feet. Yeah, so it's more of like a dynamic core plank. Good. See what side feels like it really gets a good stretch there. Sometimes one side feels like it needs it more than the other. And then we'll drop the knees and swing the legs around out in front of us. And we'll give them a really nice shake on the mat. So see if you can just bounce your legs up and down a bunch of times. Yeah, shake all that workout. Beautiful. Okay, so we're winding down, but we'll do some rocking and rolling with a little bit of rotation. I think it's helpful to have an object to like rotate. So grab your yoga block and we'll do your supinated forearm position. Okay. If you didn't want to, you could also give the block a bear hug. So I'll show you both ways. But if you're going to do the supinated position, you're going to roll back. And then as we roll up, you're just going to rotate to one side and reach up slightly. And then roll back and then rotate to one side and reach up slightly. You're not forcing it. You're kind of just seeing where your body wants to go. If your shoulders don't like that, then just give your block a hug, come up, and then again, just rotate to one side and then roll back, rotate to the other side. But it's kind of like a slow, we'll say like explorative rotation. You're not trying to like force anything. You just want to see where your body is like willing to go and what you feel. Okay, so either of those are good options. Try to make it nice and smooth, fluid if you can. And then we're going to re-arrive on our backs. So you can make your way down onto your back however feels good to you. You can just kind of plop down even. Take a moment to check in. Notice how your body's feeling, maybe like full body stretch it out, knees into chest, whatever you like. Whew, that was a lot. Yeah. We'll take the yoga block and we'll stick it underneath the pelvis. Stick it underneath the pelvis. And then once you do that, let the pelvis relax on it. So try not to be unconsciously like gripping or tensing anywhere in the pelvic floor or in the low back. Just let it be. Let the belly be. No need to be gripping anywhere. Maybe gently rock your head from one side to the other a couple of times. Just this can actually be really soothing for the nervous system and good for like the cranium and the neck to rock side to side. Sometimes it doesn't feel like much, but it's actually pretty powerful of a movement. Okay. Then we're gonna go up with the legs. Up with the legs. You might have to like adjust your hips on the block when you go up. Okay. And then we'll go slow motion bicycling here. I actually like to put my hands behind my head for this. Just like interlace the hands, keep the head on the ground, but it's slow mo, and you can keep it like kind of small, or if your hips are okay with it, you can go a little bigger in your bicycling. But you will feel a little bit of work in your belly here. But I also just want you to try to make it a nice, smooth bicycle. You can go back pedal. That'll feel different on the quads. And then we'll come to center with both legs. And we'll do just you can take the hands out if you want. You can open and then cross one in front of the other. Open and cross midline. Do it a couple of times. Very like gentle, lackadaisical. Good. And then let's do a figure four stretch here today. So from your legs up, just bend your left knee, cross it in front of your right leg, and then you can literally do your figure four. If you want, like I can barely reach my hands. I wouldn't force it, but I'm not interlacing my hands behind my right leg. I'm just gently like pulling it in. You also don't need to do that to get a lot out of it, but you're driving the left knee away from your face, and then you're just gently, you could rock your low back side to side on the block, or you could just hang out there and feel the stretch. Sometimes it's kind of interesting to move the legs up and down. You're going to kind of lengthen this right hip a little as you go down. You don't have to add that in if you don't want to. Good. And then we'll uncross and we'll do right ankle over left. Okay, so you're driving that right knee away from you. Maybe you're gently pulling that left leg in towards you. I wouldn't force the clasp or the interlace or anything like that. Just see what your body is happy with. Maybe you like to rock side to side. Maybe you move the legs away from you and back in towards you. That's a little, can be interesting potentially. And then when you're good, we're going to bring the feet down and slide our yoga block out. And then find your happy baby or a spinal twist or any other shape, position, or adjustment that would feel really nice to you to help your practice feel complete. It can literally be anything. I would invite you to just kind of turn off your thinking brain and then just kind of see what your body does. Just kind of let the body lead the way. There might be some last little niggles or things you want to get into. And then let that take you into a shape that feels totally comfortable. So grab whatever props or anything you need to let the body feel supported for a little bit of a final relaxation. Get nice and heavy through the whole body, softening through the face, the neck, the head, the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, feeling for a softening down in the belly, nice opening in your chest, heavy through the arms and legs, fingers and toes. Taking a few moments to just be. And you can always feel free to stay here as long as you like. You do have to make moves. You start to wiggle fingers and toes, gently rocking the head, maybe circling the wrist. And then as you feel ready, you make your way on up into a seat. And we'll come together one more time, growing nice and tall. Reach the arms up, reach a little further and bring the hands together and down through heart center. We'll bow forward in gratitude for practicing together this morning. Thank you so, so much. It was really nice to see you. Let me know if you have any questions.